Do you know any good jokes?
He literally pumped one time and was done.
One pump chump.
That was it.
Did he at least finish like off after?
Yes, that was it.
Going?
No, like literally one and then
you guys just ended it right there?
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
Would you break up with your girlfriend to meet your favorite famous person?
Oh, hell yeah.
Would you break up with your girlfriend for $5,000?
Oh, no.
What about $50,000?
50,000? Nah, not 50,000.
Okay. What about 100,000?
100 bands, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can make that happen.
Why wouldn't you break up with her for 50,000?
Because 100 is more than 50.
Something I've always wanted to do is like suck a guy's while he's like gaming.
You never done that?
No, but like especially like a competitive
under
game.
the table.
Yeah,
a competitive gamer.
Yeah, like he's playing a ranked game. Like it's a serious game.
He's like trying his hardest to focus and play.
Exactly.
And then she just goes on the table. That's pretty hot.
What if I'm in a business meeting and the stakes are like $10,000?
I've done that. I've in meetings.
In meetings?
Like Zoom meetings, cam off.
Oh, cam off.
And you kind of like mute in and out depending on if you need to talk or not.
I like the borders of getting caught and not getting caught. Like public stuff.
It's fun because it's like a game.
It's an interactive game.
Exactly. So back to like a ranked game. They're trying to win, but you're trying to get them to like lose focus.
You happen to be sitting next to two ranked 457 on Valorant.
What rank are you?
Platinum.
They call us the Platinum Brothers.
You want to get tag teamed? Of course.
Worst hookup, I think, is hooking up with someone and then they go, oh, my friend wants to play video games. And I'm like, okay, bye. I'll leave then.
He hooked up with you and he wanted to play video games.
Then he was like, yeah, my friends want to play video games. And I was like, well, I'm not going to be here for that.
What game was it? If it was Call of Duty, I get it. I would do the same thing.
And get married every weekend in America. They stand in front of the church, God, and both families and commit to the woman. They've made an agreement for that man to work his ass off. He comes home, he's complaining about his job, but instead of getting out there and hustling and creating a better life for them, he pops open a beer, smokes a J, and turns on the Xbox. And he's just emotionally vomited all over his wife, which puts her in a position of feeling fearful. Like, now I have to work so we can make the mortgage. Our whole situation is fucked because this guy didn't make a commitment.
Here is the story time of my weirdest hookup ever. Extra green for the pimples today. Twins. Last year on New Year's Eve, I went out with my friend and the guy that she was talking to and some of his friends. Long story short, one of the men ended up in my bed. We didn't end up doing anything. We just kind of like made out the whole night. We were both super drunk, so we just like made out and had a sleepover, like a little slumber party. We wake up the next morning, everything's fine. We're just hanging out talking. He eventually leaves. So we're texting all day and he's like, come over, come over, come over. And knowing me, really just like feeling myself in this moment, I probably sent him a text along the lines of like, I'm gonna ride your dick into the sunrise. Or something even like a little bit more timid, like, are you gonna fuck the shit out of me or what? Like I know I was definitely like dirty talking with him. Like I know I was. So I was like, oh, like we're gonna have sex. Like I vetted you out, stalked your Instagram, and we had a fun night. Like why would I not? Like that's what I want. I'm really hyping it up at this point. I fully am. Because when I'm comfortable with somebody, all bets are off. Like I'm sucking the soul out of your penis and you and I both know it. You know what I mean? Like once I'm comfortable, I'm going to vocalize that. He's like, I got your Uber, come over. He's probably ecstatic at this point because of the things I'm saying, but he's like, just come on over. Okay, so flash forward, I'm at his apartment, all is going well. We're making out, I'm fully naked at this point, fully naked, laying in this man's bed. All of a sudden, I get this like rush to my body, like this heated rush just takes over my body and my mind is like, you cannot fuck this man. Like whatever you do, you are not sleeping with this man. I'm fully making out with this man while I'm having these like insane, it almost felt like a panic attack, but it wasn't a panic attack. It was just like, you literally cannot have sex with this man whatsoever. This thought is like taking over my body while I have his tongue down my fucking throat. And I'm like, you are literally not sleeping with this man whatsoever. I've never experienced anything like this, but my body and mind were like, you're not hooking up with this man at all. I'm like, well, that's awkward because I just told him that, like I was going to suck the soul out of his penis. Like, what the
I have $40,000 in credit card debt. 40. So let's talk about it. First of all, that is a statement that I thought I would be taking to my grave. I never thought I would tell another soul. And in fact, until today, I have never told another soul about my struggles with credit card debt because this is not the beginning. If we rewind all the way back to about 19 or 20-year-old Lana, that is when my journey with credit card debt began. I was 19 years old and I was dating a man who was 31, and he did not support me or help me financially in any way, and I was trying to live his lifestyle off my minimum wage job, and I was living outside my means, to be quite frank. I got myself into credit card debt. I stayed in credit card debt until I was about 21, at which point I was able to pay it off over the course of just like really cutting back and being very diligent about making as many extra payments as I could to my debt. And then I got out of it and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the most freeing thing. I'm never doing that again. And then I did. And then I paid that debt off. And you know what? I repeated the cycle again. I'm in my third cycle of credit card debt, and at this point, my threshold has just gotten so big. Your threshold for debt increases with time, right? It's just like your threshold for anything else that creates stress in your life. Over time, your body has to adapt to the current conditions, so your threshold for what it can hold expands. So right now, the number 40 probably feels staggering to some of you, but it's not a number that I feel fear around. Because this debt that I've carried on and off for almost all of my 20s has cultivated so much shame for me. So much shame. I directly had my self-worth tied up into my financial picture. And so I thought that because of the fact that I had this debt, I was not worthy. I was not worthy. And as I've been doing a deep dive into my subconscious mind, just really into my psyche in general over the last couple of years, I have looked at everything very, very, very honestly. But money's been the one thing that I've been avoiding. The one thing that I've been avoiding. And over the last month, I have gotten to a place where I cannot avoid it anymore because I am in a very unique situation when it comes to my finances, and I've been doing all of this subconscious work. And as I sat in meditation yesterday, this just came up out of nowhere that I need to talk about it. I need to talk about it. So I first started by having conversations with my closest girlfriends because they didn't even know. And after I had spoken to them, I felt the shame just dissipating and leaving my body. And I thought, I'm going to share it with the world. I think I've always known that I was eventually going to share it with the world. I just wasn't feeling ready. And so I'm sharing this with you because I know that so many of us struggle with debt. I know so many of us are in debt right now. And I need you to remember that money is not moral. You are not worthy or unworthy depending on your financial situation.
Worst hookup story.
One time, a guy spit in my face and then slapped me.
What?
And I was low-key speechless.
And you left.
No, I didn't leave.
If somebody slapped me in the face and spit on me, I would be turned out.
Me personally, I would leave. I was just so surprised I couldn't even react to it.
Was he role playing?
No, he was just crazy.
He was crazy? What happened to the guy?
I hooked up with him after again.
Worst hookup story.
One time I was with this guy, I was giving him head, I was deep and
We love a deep queen.
yeah, and it got sloppy and it wasn't dirty or anything, it was just spit. And then he was really disgusted by it, and then he went to the bathroom and washed his off. And I was like, are you kidding me? I literally just chose not to breathe to suck it, so I kicked him out of my house.
Worst hookup story.
So this was when I was in college, and this guy literally, our second time smashing, okay? Not even in the house. It was outside in his car. I sit on him and do one bounce as I'm riding. He's like, get off, get off. I'm like, what the fuck? He literally nuts in a fucking second. Swear to God, he literally nuts in 1 second, and I was like, that's it? And then I was like, take me home.
Just one bounce.
One bounce.
You said sleeping with tons of women hurts your soul. How so?
It just draws on you, man. It's just eventually you get in the spot where you're dating all these women, and it's they all want part of you or your time or whatever, and so you get pulled.
And you said, I unfortunately didn't have that happiness from within. I didn't like being alone.
Well, I think I was giving advice to guys in there. I was saying, the healthy option is to be happy on your own where you don't need anybody. That's really the answer. It's just a hard place to get to, and I was certainly not at that place.
Are you today?
I would say I'm pretty close. Yeah, I don't need.
You don't know how to hold a real nigga down? You can't even hold yourself down, baby. And consider this my love letter to you. Cause like I said before, it's a cold world.